Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on where you're watching us from. I am live here in Seattle, Washington at the Channel A TV studios. We have a special guest in the building, and this is a segment of Meet the Queen. So I'm so excited for me to share this lovely platform with a lovely guest. She's tuning in all the way from Kirkland, Washington. This is a special guest. She's the reigning Miss Washington USA 2021. So you can imagine. So it's a packed show. We are so excited. Please stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to have an opportunity to speak to this young lady and learn so much about her background and her platform. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. All right. Thank you for joining us back. Shout out to you guys that are watching us from Europe right now. Those of you that are watching from Asia, big up to Asia. You understand why I'm putting a little bit of emphasis on Asia, because actually Miss Washington happens to be Asian. So we are so grateful and so excited. And those of you that are watching from Africa, thank you for joining us. And we can't begin this broadcast without thanking some of our community partners, CIN, also the Northwest Productions, owned by David and Maureen. Shout out to David and Maureen, and thank you for making this production possible. So we are so excited, and without wasting too much of your time, I'm so excited to bring in the queen herself, the new queen of 2021, Miss Washington USA, Miss Christine Brodie. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely. You look great. I like the stuff that you can wear that I can't wear, that I'll never wear probably, but there's only one queen right now. right now, right?
Thank you.
So jumping right off the back, being a queen in the pandemic, what does that mean to you?
I think that being a queen during this pandemic is very unique, and it's an exciting opportunity for us to really just take time in this historic moment to understand the needs of the community, listen to them, and just really help the community rebuild during this time, because it is a special moment for us to make an impact.
Absolutely. Now, I know, Christine, you've been doing this for a long time. You've been, going through all types of training. So for the people that are joining us and watching us for the first time, describe just, what kind of training you had to go through, the preparations before you competed. Before I even talk about you competing with other ladies, talk about your preparation to become the current Miss Washington USA.
I think it takes a lot of preparation. There is definitely speech coaching, interview coaching, in addition to just learning how to walk and stand. So makeup lessons as well. There are a number of different tools that we can use to get ready. And that's something that has helped me. Also fitness, of course, just overall health and wellness, making sure that you get your exercise, get your cardio in, and just eating healthy, I think in general is keeping us healthy during the pandemic, as well as preparing for any type of competition.
Absolutely. Now, Christine, definitely we have to show some of the viewers just your expressions. I love your expressions when you just won.
Your new 2021 Miss Washington USA is Christine Brodie, and the first runner-up is Christina Kavalovich. Christine Brodie, you're going to Miss USA.
Walk us through what are the emotions that you're going through, because I know that you probably can't get enough of watching that clip back to back. So walk us through what are the emotions that are going through while you're being crowned.
I think it's just complete shock and gratefulness, and my family was there, so being able to have them see me and see that moment, because it's been a long time coming. I competed my first time at the Miss Washington U.S.A. pageant in 2013, and so it's been a long road, and I took a little break, and so I think just being able to come back and have that victory, it was shocking and in the best way. So very exciting. Yeah,
absolutely. And this is a very unique platform because things were done a little bit different because obviously, like we mentioned before the pandemic. Just for the viewers that are watching this, just briefly speak about the conditions. When you guys were competing, obviously social distance was being observed and things like that. So what was done differently in order for you guys to compete safely and come back safely, obviously?
Absolutely. So even before the pageant, we had been doing all of our workshops, all of our preparation and our training together via Zoom. So it was a unique challenge, but I think that the team with Miss Washington USA, with Northwest Pageants in general, Pageants Northwest, that whole production team really made it a goal to make sure that we weren't set back by any of those challenges. So there were still lots of engagement, working with motivational speakers, people that were really coaching us through the process. And then at the actual pageant, we were socially distanced. Everybody was very safe. There was very limited capacity for viewership. That's why we did have to live stream it. And so wearing masks during a lot of the preparation portions. However, when an individual girl would go on stage, she would not have to wear a mask because she was, much more than 6 feet away from other people. And so everybody in the audience, the very small audience, was masked up. And we actually had one stage that was in one room. And then we had to physically walk into another room with people that were socially distanced and go on to the second stage. So you felt like you were zigzagging from room to room just to make sure that people could see you, because they had come a long way to watch. So it was very safe.
Absolutely. Now, when you walked into the room and you looked at all these beautiful young ladies who are supposed to be competing with you, I mean, was that intimidating? What's the first thing that's going through your mind when you just walk in and you see all these women who have been trained just as much as you have? How do you handle the pressure when it comes to just being confident and just deciding to own yourself and be true to yourself?
Absolutely. Well, it is no secret that every woman there was incredibly beautiful. And, when you see somebody, you automatically think, wow, she's gorgeous. And so I think that it was such a beautiful group of diverse ladies. But I think what differentiates this contest is everybody is really focused on looking out for one another. So many women were just so considerate of others. And I think we all have a common goal of not just being physically attractive, but being a light, having a positive spirit. And I really felt that when I got there. I immediately made friends. I mean, none of us girls had really gotten to interact with each other beforehand, right? Because we were doing virtual workshops. And so just the positive energy that I felt when I got there immediately just makes you feel so much better and just happy for everybody. When I would see another girl on stage, I felt really happy for her, and I saw other contestants doing the same for me. So I just think being able to feed off of each other's energy, encouraging each other, that just made a lot of those nerves disappear.
Yeah. My favorite part is when you guys hold hands at the end and then they're about to announce somebody. I wonder whether you guys are squeezing each other's hands. Like, you better not win. She's like, you better not win.
No, not at all. Maybe it might seem that way, but we're literally standing there telling each other, I'm so happy if this is you. I'm so honored to be here with you. You would do a great job. Every single girl, contestant was saying that. So it's a pinch me moment, but everybody was very happy, just exciting.
Absolutely. Now, turning the temperature a little bit up, obviously you're now representing Washington when it comes to just pageantry and things beyond pageant. You are of an Asian descent, obviously. And so what does that mean for you, for young ladies from your community, the Filipino community, growing up, thinking, I want to be like Chrissy one of these days, speak to someone who's watching right now. They don't have to be necessarily from your community, but they feel like they're a minority and they don't feel like they have a lot of opportunity. What would you say to encourage someone who's watching you right now and aspiring to become a queen one of these days?
Absolutely. Well, I would just say At the end of the day, believe in yourself. I know for myself, I got nervous. I'm Asian, so I keep thinking I'm short. I don't know if I can do this. I'm not tall enough to be on stage. You look at models, you get intimidated. But at the end of the day, believe in yourself, believe in your inner strength, and know that you can do it. Even if you do it alone, pave the way for other people. And so I feel really fortunate to have that platform. And with everything that's going on in the Asian community right now, I hope that Asian women do feel empowered and know that there are other queens out there rooting for you. Even if we don't know each other, we are in this together.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so, what does it mean for you? What's the first thing that you love to do? I know that things are closed right now. If things were open, being now the queen in Washington, well, speaking specifically, you already know, I do stuff with the Seattle Seahawks and the Sounders. Where would you rather go? What's the Seattle Seahawks game, the Sounders game, or even the Mariners? What would be your first pick?
That's hard. Well, I mean, they're both exciting. It's hard to choose. I love Mariners games. I think that the energy is really fun, but Seahawks games, there's nothing like it. So Sounders games, we do have the Kraken, the hockey team that's coming soon. So I'm really excited to see some Seattle hockey, but I definitely miss Mariners games. I hope to throw that first pitch at some point. That would be amazing because I know a lot of the former queens have been able to do that. But I love me some Hawks. So go Hawks. Go Hawks.
Right. So who's your favorite player on the team for the Seahawks?
Does it have to be a current player?
Okay. I'll cut you some slack. It can be a former player. That's fine.
We have some awesome players. Doug Baldwin is Filipino as well. I think he's a quarter Filipino, so Filipino representation. And of course,
Absolutely.
Russell Wilson. He's awesome, but there are so many great players. Could not just choose one. They're a great team.
Absolutely. Shout out to Doug Baldwin. I had the opportunity to work with him multiple times, at Super Bowl and right here in the Seattle area covering different events. So shout out to Doug Baldwin. Great guy and great pick for you, definitely. So we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to learn a little bit more about Christine Brodie, who is the current reigning Miss Washington USA. So if you guys are joining us right now, there's Miss Chrissy. So when we come back, we're going to have a good time learning a little bit about our platform and everything else that she has going on. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Davis live here at Channel A TV Studios. We are grateful to have our lovely friend, Miss Christine, who is the reigning Miss Washington USA 2021. And she definitely looks like a queen. And I'm sure most of you agree with me. So, Christine, I know that we talked about some of the things that you love to do, but just walk us through, what's your platform? Because some of the folks that are watching this for the first time, they don't understand what pageantry is all about. Please explain what your platform is and how you intend to use your platform right now to move forward as you push the narrative of, spreading the love and making sure that people are involved in everything else that's going on in the world right now.
Absolutely. I think that's a great question. Well, there are a number of things that I hope to bring awareness to during this year. But my personal platform is standing for women that are either exiting human trafficking or are currently stuck in that system. I'm sure that COVID has also made situations more difficult for women, and it's possible that they were easily lured into human trafficking because of lack of work. And so I think it's a problem across the world, not just my state. It is an issue in Seattle. It is an issue in Washington, but I know that it is also a global problem. And so many women are stuck in so many of these toxic situations, and I'd love to bring awareness to them and also help them exit safely, find resources so that they can rebuild careers in the world. I'm currently working in technology recruiting, and so as a recruiter, I hope to be able to give these women skills so that they can interview for the job of their dreams and accomplish those goals and just really heal from the human trafficking situation that they might have been in before.
Absolutely. Very well said. Very well said. Now, I've had the opportunity to, work with the city of Kent. I'm one of the board of directors for the Cultural Communities Board. And one of the roles that we play is to make sure that we bring equity to the community. So you mentioned that you're a professional and you do recruitment, so what are some of the changes that you'd like to see within the workforce that should be implemented in order for people to get the opportunity to be included? Because sometimes, the questions that we have on the forms that we fill up when we're looking for jobs and stuff like that, they can be automatically, alienating, if you will. So what are some of the changes that you think could be suggested into the workforce right now to encourage people to be included?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great question. Well, number one, I think that diversity and inclusion needs to start at the top. So we need to see, not just diversity and inclusion, in more junior level or associate level roles. We need to see senior leadership showing and expressing that diversity so that they are actively hiring people that come from the same background as them. I also think that there needs to be maybe a little bit more emphasis on work experience over education. Many marginalized groups maybe didn't have the opportunity to afford a master's degree or, get that BA. And I'm in no way saying that education isn't essential. Education is something that should be available to everybody. But unfortunately, it is difficult to obtain sometimes. So I think if a candidate who is diverse has incredible work experience, that should be just as valuable as academic education. And at the end of the day, I hope to see diverse leadership at the top, because that's where it starts, and that's how we can really show people, hey, this is someone that looks like you, that comes from a background that you're from. This is a place for you to work as well. You're included here, and our leadership reflects that. So that is something that I hope to emulate during my time, not only as Miss Washington USA, but also in my corporate career. And that's something that I hope to see the technology companies in our state really take the lead on.
Absolutely. And you're in the right place. Seattle is the whole state of Washington is full of technology. So you're definitely in the right place, and would love to see more women get involved into the workforce, especially when it comes to technology. So now, if you can describe yourself in 3 words, who is Christine Brodie in 3 ways? I
think Christine Brodie is fun, persistent, and resilient. I think it's really important to be able to be serious and bounce back from things, but it's always important to remember that everything is about having a good experience and having fun.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Very well said. That's what I love, Pageant, because you guys are just ready to go. Sometimes when I when I interview people, it's like, how they're going to process this, but you guys are ready to go. I love it. I love it. So dialing back a little bit. So share a little bit about your history, please. So folks that are watching you right now, where did you grow up? I know that you grew up in the Seattle area, Kirkland area, so to speak, but what's your background? How can people connect with you? What are some of the experiences from you growing up?
Yeah, well, I grew up in Kirkland, Washington, and then I went to school in Eastern Washington. So I had both that city experience and that kind of more small town, farmland agriculture experience. I went to school for 4 years in Pullman, Washington. And so I've gotten to see both sides of the state. I definitely understand some of the concerns that people have that live in the city, and then how very different that is from somebody who, works in farming, works in agriculture. In addition to that, I'm biracial, so I'm Filipino American, and just having that diverse background and watching those 2 cultures really come together has been exciting for me. My mom is an immigrant. She's from the Philippines. And so I think just watching her integrate her culture into my life and having that very much, American dream experience was really rewarding for me. And I think it's influenced me throughout my life. And hopefully I pass that on to my children someday and educate others about that as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. One of the things that we bring with us as immigrants when we migrate to different parts of the world, I know that we bring our habits with us. And I know that the Filipino culture is big on, healthy eating, and cooking, right? So I know that you can cook. I know that you can cook, so what are some of the things that you can do really well that your neighbor can't?
Well, there are a number. I would say Filipino food, you can definitely make it healthy. There are some things that are fried and delicious. We have lumpia, we have pancit, so lots of noodles and egg rolls, but you can make it healthy. You can make it vegan if you're vegan. We also have a lot of soups. My favorite soup is sinigang. It is a tamarind broth with vegetables, and you can put pork in it, or salmon. You can do shrimp as well. I love it with salmon. And of course, rice with everything. But for those that don't want to eat a lot of rice, they want to lower their carb intake. I've been eating a lot of brown rice and substituting it with that. It's not the same, but it's still really good. So those are some of my favorite things to cook. And I'm still learning, trying to dive into a lot of other cultures and learn their foods as well.
I see. I see. I know that you are very athletic and you like to be outside. So what are some of the things that you enjoy doing when it comes to just being outside and just being active, not only to maintain your physical structure, but also to be healthy? What are some of the things that you love to do? If you can share with our viewers, please.
Definitely. I love to hike. I love swimming, especially in the summertime in Seattle. In Kirkland, the waterfront, it's beautiful. It's so easy just to go for, a quick dip, go for a run. It's beautiful here, and the air is so clean, but I love to hike. I think it's really good, not only physically, that cardio aspect, but it really clears my mind whenever I'm getting stressed out. If I go for, a run, a jog for a couple of miles, even in the rain, it's just very refreshing. I feel good after. I'm not stressed out. I'm probably, in a better mood. And so I encourage other people to do that, because I know in quarantine, a lot of people were just waiting for the gym to open. But, I did some jogs in the snow safely, wear your boots or whatever. But we have a lot of those natural resources. And so I like being able to take advantage of that.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So obviously you've been doing training to become a queen, a pageant queen, for many, many years, So who inspires you when it comes to just the preparation and everything else? Who are some of the people in your life that have been very influential for you?
Well, definitely on a personal level, my family, they are always encouraging me. My mom will buy modified healthy snacks of some of my favorite things, and she's active as well, and so is my dad. So I think watching them stay active during quarantine was amazing. But some of my pageant icons and just Filipino queens are Pia Wurtzbach and Catriona Gray. They're always doing active things. They look amazing, but they also just their energy is amazing. And so that comes from keeping your head really clear and working out. So I love to watch what they're doing. And I love to see like all the different Instagram workouts that people do, because I feel like I can do them at home, and I love that.
Right, right. So you and I, the last time we spoke, we were talking about just the presence, the social media presence, and all these things now that go with having a title. So how are you balancing being being a queen and taking the time to actually take photos and do some videos and posting here and posting there? You have your personal account, and then you have the pageant account. So how are you balancing all these worlds to come together and still maintain to be Christine Brodie that we know?
Yeah, well, I think what's amazing is our directors encourage us to be authentic and just to really show the fun activities that we're doing, and just to be really real with people and post encouraging things. It's not just about posting your outfit, but it's about posting things that will inspire people and empower them when they're scrolling through their feed, not just to see things that are maybe material or superficial. And so, of course, there's the fun, the glam aspect of it too. But I think our directors really align us to great coaches and great sponsors that show us, hey, here's worthy content. Here are some things that you can talk about. Here's a good, idea. And I think just having people around you that are collaborating with you and have great ideas on what to post that is impactful and not just eye-catching has been helpful to me, because I didn't post a lot before I became the title holder for my state, and it's something I'm still transitioning into. And so thankfully they've been helpful to me, and having that support has been very vital.
Absolutely. I feel you, man. Even for me, I don't post that much for myself as I should, but I'm always putting my clients first. And sometimes it can be a crazy, crazy balance. I'm still trying to figure it out myself, even though what I teach people and what I do are two different things. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching us live right now, we're having a great conversation with Miss Christine, and we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to dive into the last portion of the interview. Stay tuned. You're watching Channel 8 TV with Meet the Queens. Stay tuned. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We have Miss Christine Brodie, who is our queen. Hail the queen, Miss Washington USA 2021, leading into 2022. So we are so honored and very, very excited to have you here, my friend. It's always great to connect with Maureen and David from the Northwest Production and representing the whole team, because these guys always give us nothing but quality. So I think you fit right in. You into the big shoes, but you're just as great. So we're excited to have you as a new queen here in the state of Washington. So welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here, and thank you for having me.
You are welcome. So let's talk a little bit about just simple questions, right? So what makes you stand out from the girl next to you when you're on stage?
I think number one, I think all the contestants did a phenomenal job and have their unique gifts. But I think for me, it was really about enjoying the moment and making the most of the experience and just letting my personality shine through. And I think that there were moments where you could tell, something is not perfect, but I'm enjoying it and I mean what I say, and I'm having a good time and really getting to connect with the girls around me. So I think hopefully authenticity is what people saw, because that's what I felt when I was going through the process.
Absolutely. Now, you know, Christine, I've been around pageantry for many, many, many years, and I've had the opportunity to judge a lot of pageant competitions.
All the queens, yeah.
Right. So,
Uh-huh.
when you're on stage, what's your favorite question that you actually know to the T, like that you've heard the most from most of the judges, growing up all these years? What's the most question that you've ever heard, like over the years, just while you're competing?
I think one question that I've heard over the years is maybe what's something that you want to change in the world. I think that is a question that I've heard many times, but it's asked differently every year. And I think it's really about the judges understanding what did the title holders notice in the world and how can they impact that. And so that's something that I'd love to see the different Miss USAs and the different contestants that I've watched, on TV or in the pageants that I'm competing in, answer, because it's so unique and everybody has a different cause and a different calling. And I love hearing that. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, the Filipino community in the Seattle area, as well as back home, should be proud of you because you are as good as it gets. So we are very, very honored to have you, and definitely we wish you nothing but good luck. And you're going to present us hopefully at the big one, right?
Yes,
Sometime.
I will see you guys at Miss USA.
Miss USA.
Yeah, it's the big stage.
Right, it's the big stage, and
right.
absolutely. So, yeah, I want to give you the opportunity that I know that being a pageant queen comes with a lot of responsibility, obviously, like we mentioned before, but you also need a little bit of help. So, how much is needed? Not in terms of financials, but what are some of the things that are needed for you to be able to continue with your reign and execute the way you want it in terms of sponsorship? What are some of the things that you would need? This is like a shameless plug, if you will.
Well, I have amazing sponsors, and that is no secret. I've already been working with a number of coaches with, getting my fitness ready, interview, my walk, and the different looks and the different, makeup and everything to present and to be ready for all of the different events. So, currently I'm wearing IT Cosmetics pretty much all over my face, from mascara to skincare. IT Cosmetics is amazing. Graffiti Glammed gifted the title holders these incredible lashes that they're very comfortable, but they're long and they're just vivacious. I'm obsessed with them. And then Queen Bee Boutique also gifted us these beautiful earrings, if you can see them.
Beautiful,
So
yes.
they go with everything. They go with the crown. It's phenomenal. But I've already been in touch with a number of my sponsors. There'll be many to come, and I'll be posting about the ones that I interact with. But coaching wise, we have Carrie Damiano, Giselle Boone, Angelo, Fit Body by Angelo. I've already been engaging with them. And so Danny Walker is teaching us about content creation and just meaningful media presence. And so there are so many amazing sponsors. I will be posting more about all of them. And of course, Pageants Northwest is responsible for coordinating all of these things. So I'm so thankful to them. But that is just a few, literally a drop in the bucket of the sponsors that have rallied around us to help us get ready for the biggest stage of our lives. And I'm so grateful because I would not have even known where to begin. So
yeah, absolutely. So shout out to all your sponsors. It takes a lot. And I had to mention that so folks can understand that you didn't just drop from heaven like that. There are a lot of things that have to happen in order for us to get the queen like yourself. So in closing, I want to give you the opportunity, who would you like to thank? I know that it's been a long journey, growing up here in the state of Washington, as well as in Kirkland, so to speak. You've gone through the ups and downs just like the rest of us. So who would you like to thank that have been a great part of your life to be who you are today?
I think most consistently, my parents. They are always rooting for me. They believe in me when I don't always believe in myself, and they see greatness in me when I feel like have work, I have work to do. I'm not there yet. But they see the potential. And also, of course, Pageants Northwest, Maureen and David have believed in me since I was 17 is when I met them. I won't tell you how old I am now, but since I was 17, they have just really poured into my life. Even when I wasn't a contestant, even when I stepped away from pageantry, I would call Maureen just to ask her, hey, I'm trying to figure out what to do with my life, what to do with my degree. Can you give me some advice as an author, as a businesswoman? And so her and David have been just so inspirational. But I have to say, my family and a number of friends, they know who they are, the friends and family that have just been by my side throughout this process. And we're just so excited for me. And it felt like everybody won in that sense, because it was something that they had been following with me. But I have to thank my parents. I have to thank God, because I just believe in that divine timing. So, and thank you for having me and just for being so patient with us through this process. So yeah, I feel very
Absolutely. I love it because you know what, you guys keep us young. We're always learning, we always, like you said, you guys change and we're changing with you, because otherwise we can't keep up, because there's so much going on all around the world. But most importantly, we thank you for the platform, the wonderful platform. Just say it one more time so folks who are joining us right now can get to know what you just mentioned earlier. What is your platform, and what do you hope to accomplish out of it? Just we make sure that people understand what your platform is.
Absolutely. Well, my platform is ultimately about uplifting women, specifically women that have been victimized by human trafficking, whether it's through the pandemic, loss of a job, or just because they've been trafficked into a really toxic situation. And so ultimately, I hope during my reign to impact my community, help rebuild from the difficulty of the pandemic and a lot of the tension in our nation, and just uplifting women through all of that, because I know that there's so much work to be done. But if I can just play a small role in that, I'll be satisfied with myself, and just grateful for that opportunity.
Absolutely. Very well said. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are taking a short break. When we come back, we're going to ask Miss Christine the final question. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. This is Davis live here at Channel A TV. Stay tuned. Welcome back, Christine. So I just can't end this broadcast without asking you one of my favorite questions, but one of the most important questions. When it's all said and done, how would you like to be remembered?
I would like to be remembered as somebody who brought out the best in other people, and who can see greatness in them when they can't see it in themselves, because I know that people have poured into me, and I would not be here if it were not for the people that say, I see greatness, I see potential in you. So I want to be remembered as somebody who makes people feel loved, brings out the best in them, and is just positive to be around. And I hope that I can accomplish that during this reign, but also just throughout my lifetime.
Well, you are as good as it gets. So Washington should be excited about your presence, and the future is definitely looking bright. So thank you so much for just taking your time to join us and be with us today. And I want to give you this opportunity as well. If people are trying to connect with you, how can they be a part of your journey? How can they be a part of your story? How can they support you on social media?
Absolutely. Well, I would definitely say, please follow us on social media. Miss Washington USA is the Facebook page. Miss WA USA is the Instagram page. And then Real Miss WA USA is the Twitter page. So we will be active on all of those accounts. And I try to share everything that's on Instagram, Miss WA USA, onto the other pages as well. So they kind of reflect some of the same things. But that's how you guys can stay tuned as to what's happening with my journey as I'm headed towards Miss USA. So thank you guys for tuning into that. And I hope to see more people hop on as well, so I can get to know everybody.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love it, because you're always about including others. I love what you said. You said, join us, connect with us, just because it's not just you, but you also include the team. So we appreciate you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Christine, man. I appreciate you. In closing, which country would you love to visit? I know that pageantry involves a lot of moving up and down. Which country would you love to visit soon when time allows?
Oh, that is difficult. I'd love to go to Italy, Greece, or Morocco. I can't pick. There's a few of them. Yeah, I want to go somewhere hot though. I really want to go, maybe Egypt. I've always wanted to go I love the desert. So that would be amazing. Yeah.
You better make up your mind, my friend, you know, so. Well, this is Davis, right? Yeah, you can see, and I wish we could continue just talking, but we want to be a part of your journey. So you're welcome to come back to the Channel A TV studios anytime, whether it's virtually or in real life. You know, we love your spirit. We wish you nothing but luck. Thank you so much. Any last words for those of you that are following, and I see the messages coming in right now, you know, people that are trying to connect with you. Any last words for you?
Just thank you so much and stay tuned. And I'm incredibly proud to represent Washington. We are a great state and a diverse people. And I'm so happy to represent my state. And I will see you guys in November at MISS USA.
Absolutely. See you on the big stage. Christine Brodie, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for joining us. You're watching Channel A TV under this segment, part of Meet the Queens. And here is Davis signing off with lovely Christine. Thank you so much for joining us. God bless you. Stay safe, and we will see you soon.